What's up, YouTube? It's your man Ray, and I'm here with my first video, man. So today's subject and topic, we're gonna talk about something I found very interesting, and it was artificial intelligence. Now I know it's a lot of opinions about AI. If it's good, if it's bad. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna just give y'all my personal opinion on what I think about AI. Okay. So first, starting off, we're gonna start off with the first question. Is artificial intelligence a threat to humanity? And I don't know. I wouldn't say that it necessarily is a threat, but I wouldn't say that it's not a threat. You feel me? I say it has potential to be a threat. You feel me? Because it's not right now. We have a lot of artificial intelligence stuff going on right now, but potentially the way people are portraying it to be and making it out to be like, I feel like it could be a threat. Okay. Second question is AI research moving too fast? Yes, I think AI is moving a little bit too fast because you got to think back 10, 15, 20 years ago, we didn't even have all this technology and stuff we got now. But now, all of a sudden, like I said, 10, 15, 20 years later, now we got cell phones, video games, computers, TVs, like all this stuff that they didn't have not that long ago. And now all of a sudden we got all of this. And now we got people talking about making robot versions of us, fake versions of humans. I think we are moving a little bit too fast. We might need to slow it down just a little bit. Now, number three, should we be worried about the rise of these intelligent machines? I would I wouldn't say that we should be worried. I would say that we should be weary of the rise of these intelligent machines, because if we build these machines to think for themselves and learn for themselves, there's no limits to what they're gonna learn, what all this stuff that they're gonna figure out, especially their computers, so they'll be able to memorize and store all of this stuff in their brain that we can't. So they'll already be a lot smarter than us. So there's no telling. They might try to get sketchy on us. They might try and take over the world or something. Who knows? So I would say we should be weary. We don't know these machines. Like, yeah, we built them, but we don't know what they'll be capable of. Like I said earlier, they might be able to take over the world. Like, they might figure out a way around us to where they don't need us anymore. Then they try and get rid of us and start trying to build more of themselves. They might start trying to take over. There's no limits to these robots unless we put limits on these robots and we place boundaries on these robots to make sure that they won't be able to wander off like like a stray black sheep or something. Like, we gotta there's gotta be some type of laws put in place and some type of rules and stuff like that put in place to make sure that this won't be a worry if people start building these robots. Now, number four, what are the risks of artificial intelligence? Well, I will say there's a lot more risks than there are rewards, because, of course, robots and AI would definitely make life a lot easier for us and take a lot of stress and stuff off of humans, make humans a lot more lazy and content. But the risk is just like up here, and the rewards are like down here. Like, it won't match up. And that's why I say we should be weary about building these robots, because for one, there'll be lack of transparency with these AIs, meaning that they'll be incapable of indicating their motivation for their choices. Meaning that if whoever builds let's say somebody builds this robot and hardwires into his mind that the sky is red, how are you going to convince this robot that the sky is blue? You won't be able to convince this robot that the sky is actually blue, because it's wired into his mind, into his brain or whatever, that the sky is red, and it's set and it's there. So there's no way you'll be able to change. No matter how much evidence you present to this robot, whatever, you will not be able to convince him that the sky is blue, because the whole time he's gonna say the sky is red. There's nothing you could do or say to change my mind from thinking that the sky is red, even though you're trying to tell him the sky is really blue, my nigga. Another risk would be biased algorithms. So when we feed our algorithms data sets that contain biased data, then the system will logically confirm our biases. And when a system is fed discriminatory data, then it's going to produce this discriminatory data. So I can give you another example. Let's use race. If you convince, if you if you build a robot and have him thinking that black people are bad, right? Then this robot, like this is going back to lack of transparency. This robot now thinks black people are bad, and now he's gonna do every piece of research that he does, everything that goes through his mind, whatever, is gonna be anything that makes black people out to be bad. And so if you give him the opportunity to put content out, it's gonna be about how black people are bad, and this is what makes black people bad. And even if there's good things about black people going through the system, you're not gonna be able to change it that he thinks black people are bad. So he's only gonna take out all the things that make black people out to be bad. And that's the content he's gonna put out, and that's the stuff he's gonna try and spread around, is that black people are bad. Even though they're not. Even though they're good and they're regular human beings like the rest of us. In his mind, it's going to be, no, they're bad, this and that. And then what happens when he goes outside and sees one? Like, come on now. You got to be realistic. Another risk would be their liability for their actions. Meaning, what happens if this robot goes out and kills somebody? But the designer of the robot didn't program him to kill anybody. But this robot just went out and killed somebody. Well, who's gonna be charged for murder? You gonna charge the robot for murder, or are you just gonna turn him off? Is the designer gonna go to prison for designing the robot, and the robot went and killed somebody? Like, how are you gonna decide who takes the punishment for what this robot has done? I mean, obviously the robot's not gonna care if you give him life in prison. He's gonna be like, what? Like, he's gonna live forever. You think he's gonna care? So, I mean, I don't know. He'd just be a liability. He'd be a liability because it's gonna be so hard to decide who takes the charges for what this robot does. If he goes out and steals a car, or he goes out and blows something up, how are we gonna make sure that there's justice for whatever action that robot has done? If he messes up or he makes a mistake, who's gonna be there to correct it? Because like I said, everything's gonna already be hardwired. Everything's already gonna be set in his mind. Only way to fix him will have to be to go in there and take whatever it is out and rewire all of that. But nobody's gonna want to do that because people are gonna be too focused on making more robots. You see what I'm saying? Another problem or another risk would be it's too big of a mandate. So it's like, how are we going to decide what they are and aren't allowed to do for us? You know, like, people are going to create a robot to wash the dishes. Okay, this robot is wired to wash the dishes. But what happens when he tries to clean the house, or when he tries to do the laundry, or he pays the bills, but he does anything else other than doing the dishes? But that's what you bought that robot for. You bought that robot specifically to do the dishes. But then you come home and you see him doing the laundry, vacuuming the floor, stuff like that. Yeah, it'll be good. But what did you buy that robot for? You bought him to do the dishes, to do that one task. But you come home and he's doing all these other tasks that you didn't pay for him to do. Now, I'm not saying that would be a bad thing. I'm just saying there's no how do I say? There's no mandates. It's like there's nothing that's gonna be in his mind to be set on that one task. I mean, unless there is, and we can make it that way. But if there's no way to make this robot like be specifically focused on the thing that he was built for and the thing that he is tasked to do, who knows? Like, like I said, you haven't washed the dishes. He out here cutting grass. You ain't buy that robot to cut grass. You bought that robot to wash the dishes. Okay, let's move on. Number 5. How will AI change the workforce? This is simple. How will AI change the workforce? Let's think about it. There won't be a workforce because the moment you build a robot to take somebody's job, to do a job that a human can do, you're automatically going to get rid of those humans and just replace them with robots. I mean, why would you have human construction workers out here building stuff when you could just have a group of robots coming over here building stuff, and they'll probably do it faster because they're not going to get tired. They don't have to take a lunch break, stuff like that. So you're just going to, let's have the robots instead of the humans. What about mechanics? You're not going to want a human mechanic working on your car when you can have a robot under there getting it done quick, fast, and in a hurry. There won't be a workforce because it'll be completely taken over by robots. And then once the workforce is completely taken over by robots, then what will be the use of humans? There won't be, and we'll just be fat and lazy. Like, if you ever saw the movie WALL-E, how those people were sitting, floating around in those little things, and they were all fat and stuff. That's how we're gonna be if our workforce gets taken over by robots and AIs, artificial intelligence. Okay, let's move on. Number 6. Should businesses be able to develop their own AI? And my answer to that is hell no. First of all, even if the government allowed people to start building these AI robots, there would have to be rules, regulations, and all kinds of stuff. Like, there'll have to be like mandate, like things that these robots have mandatory they have to have, and things like that. And for us to just allow other companies, small companies, and other just random companies out here around the world develop their own robots will be ridiculous because they're able to. Well, it's not even that they won't be able to. They'll just work around it because they'll feel like they don't have to follow the rules because it's their robot and they can do what they want. And then that's when the downfall is going to start to happen, because you allow smaller businesses to start developing and building their own. They're going to build those robots to their best interests. And that's not good because a lot of people are very selfish and they want to do what they want to do with these robots, and they're going to disregard all the rules, all the regulations, whatever, and they're going to build these robots. And then by the time the government catches on to these robots that don't have the rules and regulations in place, it's going to be too late because they already probably got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, and maybe even more. So by then it's too late. Especially you allowing all the companies, all these businesses to do that, it's just not smart. It wouldn't be smart. I would say that the government would definitely would have to have a say in every single robot that gets built. Okay. Let's move on. Number 7. How will AI impact privacy rights? And this is simple too. There won't be any privacy because these robots will have access to all the internet. They have access to everything, files, whatever. And they'll be able to easily hack into stuff, and they won't even need a computer for it. They just, because they're computers themselves. So they'll be able to hack into whatever with no problems and do whatever with no problem. Nobody would even know. Nobody would probably be able to even trace it back to the robot. There won't be any privacy. So if people start building these robots and stuff, you better clear your history. All right, number 8. Is it morally wrong to create sentient artificial beings? Yeah, I think it would be morally wrong for us to create these sentient artificial beings because we're humans and we are the most intelligent creatures on earth. And for us to build something that's not even a creature, it's just a thing that we built. And not only is it a thing that we built, but we're building something that's smarter than us, faster than us, like stronger than us in all aspects of life. And you guys want to make them be able to feel? Like, what happens if you piss this robot off? What is he gonna do? You don't know. He might freaking try and hack the nuclear missiles or something and set him off just because you pissed him off. Like, who knows? And if you make him sad, what is he gonna do? Who knows? He might try and put an island underwater or something. Like, nobody knows what they might try to do. So I don't think that robots should have feelings. I feel like if we build robots, they should be built for specific tasks, and there should be something in their computer that like blocks them from wandering off from their task. Like, the task that they are assigned to is the task that they should be stuck with. They shouldn't be able to do all this learning by themselves and stuff like that. No, I think that's too much. And if you give them feelings, then you're just trying to make them more human than us. And that's ridiculous. Because then we'll start bleeding into something that can literally take us over. And then if they find out that they could take us over, you think they won't? Like, they definitely will. Alright, last question. What are the potentials of dangers creating super intelligent AI? Pretty sure I already said these a few times in this video. But what aren't the dangers? They're smarter than us, they're faster than us, stronger than us. Like, there's nothing that we can do that they won't be able to do better. Like, I literally saw a video of robots running with guns, doing backflips and stuff off of boxes. Like, you don't see humans running around with great big machine guns like this, doing backflips and still holding it. Like, and they'll be able to shoot pinpoint accuracy. Like, no, I don't think it's smart. Especially coming to soldiers. Like, if somebody builds a robot army to take on a human army, it'll just be a catastrophe. Like, exactly what it'll be. It'll be a catastrophe because those robots are gonna obliterate every single one of those humans. Because robots don't miss. Humans will be able to miss. Robots will not. And I just, if we build robots, I really think we should be wary, and we should have a lot of boundaries and rules and regulations set in place for these robots to not be able to, take over the world. But yeah, I mean, robots, they can be good. I'm not saying that robots will be a bad thing. AI should be a bad thing. We definitely will be able to use AI. I mean, we already pretty much use it now. But if you think about how smart our technology is now, imagine if that technology can walk and talk. Like, bro, it's over. We already got Siri. Now imagine Siri walking and talking. Like, bro, it's just not a great idea. I mean, if there's boundaries that we can put in place for these robots to not be able to cross, and allow them to complete their tasks safely without putting anything in harm, without harming anything, then yeah, I say I'm all for it. But at the speed we're moving, there's gonna be things that's gonna get missed. There's things it's just, we gotta be careful if we decide to build these robots. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like in the video, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button, man. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.